I feel like they handled this entire episode a lot better than the manga handled it. The scale of the treasure underneath that ice continent of Don Chinjao's was insane. In the manga, they showed the exact same panel. It was literally by panel this episode was. But, I mean, getting to see the scale in the anime, it just shows you why Don Chinjao was so pissed off, why he's so mad, why he has so much rage towards Garp and his children and his grandchildren. I can understand Chinjao's rage now. I mean, this man has been separated from his treasure for over 30 years. Okay, let's put this in perspective. Let's say you amassed millions of dollars right now. You've worked for it almost your entire life, for about 50 years. You worked sweat and bones, you're bleeding just to get this money. And then when you finally have this massive collection, it gets taken away from you. And you cannot get it. I mean, how would you feel? That's what Chinjao feels at this moment, and you can understand his anger. And so, you really cannot feel mad at the guy, even though he wants to kill Luffy, our main character. You can understand his rage because someone he fought in the past stopped him from getting to his treasure. But at the very least, at the ending part of this episode, it gets settled, and Chinjao gets his drill head back, which is a really good conclusion to this fight. I like the way the fight ended, and now let's put this in perspective, okay? Chinjao was not at maximum power. Now let's look at this fight, okay? Luffy was in gear second gear, and he was fighting Don Chinjao. Now, Don Chinjao was fighting him on equal grounds. I mean, Don Chinjao was literally fighting as fast as Luffy, and he was going as fast, and he's not even at maximum. Imagine if he would have had his drill head fighting Luffy. Luffy most likely could have lost. It depends. We really don't know exactly how far it would go. Chinjao is a monster, really strong, and he was fighting Garp in the past, and we knew Garp actually probably tried his hardest to take down Chinjao's head. And what was even scarier about this is Garp said he had to train, and he took down 8 fucking mountains and used them as body bags or freaking punching bags to be able to beat Chinjao. So, if Chinjao, to be able to beat Chinjao, you have to beat 8 fucking mountains up to be able to take down his head, think about the power. Okay? Garp had to destroy 8 mountains to take down Don Chinjao's head. Yeah, that's fucking scary. I don't think Luffy, honestly, could take down 8 mountains as much as probably Garp did. I mean, Garp probably just, oh my god, he probably obliterated those mountains like something like Dragon Ball Z would do. And so, it's scary if you think about that in that different perspective. This episode was really freaking epic. I loved the way they showcased everything. It made it more dramatic, intense, and the way you see the fight between the clashes of Don Chinjao and Luffy, and you see that freaking power, the force coming off, and everybody's looking at them, they see the wind and the roar coming in their face. It looks just so fucking badass, and I loved the way the episode did that. By far, this is where I have to say the anime handled it a lot better than the manga. This was a lot better than the manga because you don't get those same feels. I mean, you got the epic freaking music, you had the way the animation looks, it looks so freaking awesome in this episode. And if we look at this at a critical standpoint, I guess this episode really didn't accomplish much, but it doesn't matter. It was a good episode. It concluded the fight with Don Chinjao and Luffy. It was no off-screen stuff going to the other crew members. We actually had just a full-out Don Chinjao Luffy fight all this entire episode, and I like it. Even the recap is shorter than last week, so I'm happy with that. So tell me your thoughts on this episode between Don Chinjao and Luffy. Do you feel like if Don Chinjao was at maximum power, he could have beat Luffy? What do you think about Don Chinjao now, Dad, with his new head? Do you feel like he's going to help out Luffy? Do you feel like he's going to work with him? And do you feel like, Don Chinjao is still going to hold some form of rage to Luffy? Let me know in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.